I generally do love friendships, whether that is online or in person. And as someone that is autistic, I've had hardships in regards to new connections, having to communicate more, and also having to understand each other's feelings and emotions, especially with social cues, because I know that I have a lot more experience with. In these situations where I'm out in public, and it's becoming very hard for me to develop or start a new connection with someone that I don't even know. And having to make new friendships, having to develop new friendships means so much to me as an autistic. And what's interesting about having to make friendships, having to make a lot of friendly conversations, is I get to know them on a much more deeper level. And what I mean by that is that I get to have a lot more deeper conversations with someone. And I really do love deep and meaningful conversations because I can really go for a lot of long talks with someone. And I've had instances where I've had deep, meaningful conversations, and trust me, is one of the most best things in the friendship. Like, I really place their trust in someone that really wants to share their own life story, and that I can relate to someone on a much more intellectual level. But I know that not everyone is really interested in deep and meaningful conversations, and that is really okay. Like if you want to have like a normal conversation, that's generally okay. But I do think that deep and meaningful conversations brings out the best of us, to bring out a lot more integrity, a lot more authenticity in ourselves, and it provides a lot more emotional connection. It provides a lot more emotional understanding to really know ourselves a lot more. It provides a lot more positivity, and like I said, it brings out a lot of trust. We really trust with each other in regards to having to make out a friendly conversation on a much more deeper level. And when we talk like on a much more deeper level, we go on like we go we go on for hours and hours and hours of longer talk, which I find it to be a lot more exciting. uh, but also like it also drains myself a lot more in regards to having deep, meaningful conversations. And I always try my best with these deep conversations, and I try to not be to not to not see myself burn out from these conversations, because I know for sure, like, if I ever really go on for so many hours of communication, I will feel a lot more tired. And like as autistics, we do feel a lot more burnt out in conversations if we really do not ever stop. like and like, while I do love having longer conversations, there has to be a point where there needs to be a pause. Like, if there's ever like a situation that we are running into, then we may need like a pause in like deeper conversations, and that's really okay. Like, we can always like really come back to the conversations that we are interested in. And these longer conversations can really bring into a lot more opportunities in regards to having to share our own insecurities, having to share a lot more struggles that we both have. and we have like a greater understanding of each other's minds and our intellectual thinking. And like I as myself, I want to like really understand them on a much more intellectual level. And like I want to really practice myself in communicating a lot more than other people. And I I really do place a lot of their respect when it comes to conversations like this, in regards to having to in regards to talking about a lot of the topics that we are deeply interested in. Like a lot of like normal conversations, like normal topics that we have, and that we can go into a much more analytical level, on a much more like philosophical level. And it's one of the most greater things in friendships, and I really do wish that I would have like more of these conversations where I'm getting a lot more deeper conversations, so that I can get a lot more insight on it. Like I can really gain a lot more insight when it comes to those that talk more in like expatiation, that talk much more in greater detail. and and like we are like so vulnerable in ourselves that we may always like find ourselves like we may always like find ourselves like much more like happier. We are much more like we are generally like interested in ourselves when it comes to deeper understanding. And like I want to share like 3 tips when it comes to deep conversations. um, if you want to ever really go into a deep conversation, try to be more like honest in yourself, because if you're really being dishonest, then the other person may not trust you as well, as much. So you want to make sure that you're being honest. You don't want to lose the integrity in yourself, because what happens if you lose your integrity, if you're really not genuine, if you're really not showing good care for others, if you're really not accommodating others that are really having a good time, and also having to radiate the good vibes around them. So really be honest in yourself. Don't ever lie. Don't ever really really be blatant in your conversations. Another thing is don't share any negativity when it comes to deeper understanding. We don't want to bring out a lot of negative vibes in terms of deeper conversations, because what happens is that, for me at least, like if we share like a lot of negativity, then we don't bring out a lot of like good vibes. And that maybe I'm wrong, but we don't go into a lot more deeper understanding if we're always negative with each other. Like we don't usually last long enough in deeper conversations if we're always sharing a lot of negativity, are not if we're not okay with ourselves. So, and like we can work things out with each other, but really what I want to see in friendships is a lot more positivity. Like really, we really want to build a lot of positive mindset. We really want to see each other grow as we get into a lot more deeper into the conversation. Like we really want to see the positivity and the sunshine in ourselves, and not the negativity that is upon us, right? And last tip that I'll give, and when it comes to deep and mutual connection, is to really understand their boundaries. Like, like other people have boundaries, and you may accidentally cross a boundary in which that other person is triggered, and that they are really disappointed, and they are really upset when you even cross the line, when you even cross the boundaries. And we want to respect each other's situations. We want to respect each other's understanding and our intellectual thinking. And we really want to respect those that are really struggling. We want to respect those that are really struggling through the most difficult situations possible. And so if we really cross the line, if we really disrespect those that are that want to get to know each other a lot more in an intellectual level, in a more philosophical level, then the deep conversation might not last long enough. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I generally do believe that it may not last long enough if we're crossing each other's boundaries and we do not respect each other when it comes to making out conversations. When we're trying to have longer conversations and we accidentally spill out things that may harm each other. So I would advise not to do that. I would advise to avoid crossing boundaries by accident if possible, and that way you can have a lot more positive insights, having a lot more like conversations in ways that you generally think that it is more possible. Let's just say it like that. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. I really tried my best in this topic, because I know it is a lot more harder than I think when it comes to having a topic on deep and meaningful conversations. Hopefully I did my best, but if not, then just let me know below of other tips that you can give to me when it comes to deep conversations, because I know, like, I only know one of the main points of having deep conversations. And if you know like any more tips, if you know any more details about what I said, I would love it if you can share it in the comments. And yeah, that'll be it. Like and subscribe for more new content every Wednesday. And I'll see you guys next week. See ya.